Well, hello there.
Hello there.
So you're interested in giving tanking in dungeons a shot. But you want to make sure that you know what's coming, or perhaps you're experiencing that pesky tankxiety. Well, I'm here to help. This video is for the super basic stuff. For example, what do your skills actually do, and how best to use them. Now, this is not by any means meant to be helpful to existing tanks, nor am I the one true tank to lead them all. However, its purpose is to help those completely new and overwhelmed. But without further ado, let's do further? Yeah. Starting with the most important button in the world. Now, every tank's tank stance is named differently, however, they all serve the same purpose. This is actually a common trend with most of our skills. You should see the name and icon of your stance skill. Now, it is vital that you activate this at the start of every dungeon, because if you do not, this will happen. What these stances do is simply ensure that you get and keep the aggro of every enemy you hit. Meaning that for the dungeon to be successful, it is the tank's job to hit every enemy at least once, to keep the party from taking damage. Now, how do we do that, I hear you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. All tanks start off with functionally identical skills to help us do this. The most helpful of which are our spammable range attacks, which does exactly what you'd expect it to do. These are always instant cast, so you don't need to stop running or wait around channeling. We also have our basic AoE, area of effect, attacks, which are incredibly effective for pulling groups of multiple adds in a single button press. Though you must be on the lookout for any pesky enemies that were lucky enough to be outside the area of the attack itself. You'll need to get that dog back on its leash. All tanks have access to Provoke, which is an amazing skill for when you're a little more used to the dungeon or just tanking in general. It serves as a very long range attack. Great for grabbing any enemy that you might have missed while pulling, or for pulling multiple packs at once. What's a pack? A pack of adds are a group of enemies that are linked. Put basically, if you hit one of them, they're all coming for you. This is actually indicated by yellow lines that appear when you target an enemy. Once you get their attention, you'll see these arrows coming towards you. These arrows tell you who is getting the aggro. So if it is not you, get ready to pull the enemy off your teammate. Now that you have a group of enemies attacking you, you have to stay alive. Otherwise, this will happen. And to help keep us alive, we have a few tricks up our sleeves. Now, they are all extremely powerful and must be used at the right moments and not wasted unnecessarily. They serve to reduce the amount of damage we are taking, either through straight buffs to ourselves, or, such as the case of arm's length, debuffing the enemy. Either way, we're making the job easier for ourselves and our healer. These skills should be used at the most opportune times, when you stand to profit the most from their usage. In my upcoming guides for the individual dungeons, I will teach you all the strats that I have come up with, and I will teach you all the strats that I have come up with, and I may even do a live run so that we can run the dungeon simultaneously, so that you never need worry about getting lost or confused. Bit like a sat-nav. For now, just know that these should be used on large pools, and not on a single pack, unless your healer has left to have a pee without telling anyone. Happens more than you think. To wrap up, we're going to go through some of the basic do's and don'ts of tanking. For the sake of time and wanting to avoid information overload, this is not going to be all of the possible do's and don'ts. Just the most important ones for when you're getting started. If you do have any more do's or don'ts that you think would be helpful for new players, put them down in the comments down below. I'm sure they'll give them a read. Number 1. Do remember your tank stance. It's not a major issue. If you do forget, it will just cause one quick wipe right at the start. Everyone will call you a muppet. You put lol in chat, say sorry, go again. It's not a big deal, but just make sure you do it. 2. Do not waste your damage mitigation skills right before a big pull. Now, we've already kind of gone over why this is important, but it's really important that you don't just pop it out of instinct against one enemy, and then you pull 30 enemies in the next room. That cooldown isn't going to be up by then. So just keep that in mind. This is something that you'll learn through experience, and hopefully in the future guides as well, I'll be telling you when to use your certain skills. It is all fairly simple. Number 3. Do be mindful of your healer. It might be their first time too. If your healer needs you to go slow, then just do it. My guides will be aimed towards having a competent healer. So if you do have a healer that is new, or they are ridiculously undergeared, as keeps happening to me, you do have to evolve the strategy a little bit. So keep that in mind. Number 4. Don't spin the boss around like a yo-yo. AoE and cleave damage aside, many classes have things called positionals, which require them to attack the boss in a certain manner, which is very hard to do when you're spinning the boss around like a Beyblade. Number 5. Do hit the like button on this video so I can feed my hamster. Number 6. Don't give in to the anxiety. You might struggle or get flamed a little to begin with, but do not let that stop you. Jump straight back into it. Get back in that dungeon as soon as you can. This time, you're going to be armed with a bit more experience. You're going to know what's going on. It'll be better. Hopefully, I've given you enough of an idea of what's going on for you to kind of get the gist of what you're expected to do. Now with that said, rejoice in the glory of combat! I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.